Okay, I'm debating whether I should upload what I just said. Because I'm so mad, people. Like, seriously. Like, Anyway. You see? What does that say? It says Bernard John Duncan and Judy Charney. Do you see what this is, people? This is what Uncle John willingly, on his own, abandoned. He just walked away from 35 years of having a family. He did it on his own accord, without the instigation of Fraser Health Authority and their corrupt employees, and the corrupt employees within the Bank of Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. I'll read it to you. Do you see? This is a legitimate letter that just came in the mail today, people. I just opened it up. Are you watching, Andrew? Plan number, blah, 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 blah. I would like to express my thanks for choosing the Canadian Scholarship Trust Plan for your child, Registered Education Savings Plan. Being given the opportunity to support Canadian families as they save for their children's future is a wonderful honor. Not when they're being preyed upon, people. Over the course of the year, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this is regards to Shamay. For something that she can never, ever access thanks to Fraser Health Authority and Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Because it's going into the Bank of Canada after 2032 when nobody claims $1,614.51. And then there's a total sale charge for the plan of $800 that the company gets to keep. But the $1,614.51 since Uncle John disappeared is going to go into the Bank of Canada in the year 2032, I think it is, when nobody comes to claim this money, people. When nobody comes to claim this money, people. Do you see? Because this is what the Duncan clan, Fraser Health Authority, and Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce has put on complete lockdown. Well, the court, through their masters and their judges, are paying lip service to the legal things that are put in front of them because they want to cater to a corrupt corporation so that houses can continue being bought up in the province of British Columbia, Canada, sit empty for a year or two or three or four, as they're being flipped within the housing, realtor market there 3-4 times a year, right? Just turn on a light here and turn on a light there, take out the garbage every now and then to make it look like somebody's living in there, right? As more and more homeless people are out in the streets, right? So that shit can continue. Right? And they don't care who they hurt, people. They don't care who they hurt. I can do absolutely nothing with this because it requires 2 signatures. Mr. Duncan's and mine. Or an ethical judge that wants to do his or her job. Can you see that? What is the date on it? Do you see the date? There is the date. This is a legitimate document that Fraser Health Authority disregards and sits up there and says that I am not the representative to Uncle John or this family. Uncle John's family. There is proof. This is Uncle John's family. He just didn't walk up and say, fuck you. I don't love you no more. I don't care about you no more. I don't care if you drown in a fucking river because I'm a rich man. I'm going to go sit in some dirty diaper, drool over my bib, and have some wonderful nurse come and feed me. So fuck everybody else in the world. I have every right to file another lawsuit. Every right. Okay, people. So today is February 5th, 2018. I'm starting this crap again. Do you see? This is regarding Uncle John. Obviously, I'm dealing with people that play games and use public tax dollars to their advantage. It's pretty apparent that these higher-ups in terms of the master and the judge that I've come into contact with so far when dealing with Fraser Health Authority are biased and prejudiced against poor minority families. This, if you do it by yourself, judges are more lenient because they know that you don't necessarily know how to follow court rules. You know, so therefore they're a little more flexible. I can't help you. You go do a solo. You're on your own unless you can cough up $80,000, right? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that these people that work in the courthouse, these judges and masters and stuff, I think they come into contact so much with these corporations, you know, regardless of the corporation. You know, Fraser Health is a corporation, right? It's connected to the government. You know, their wages get paid by the government, people, so they're not going to turn against the government and do the right thing and follow through up on what's being put forward in regards to the medical kidnapping and suspicious disappearance of Uncle John. Right. So, you know, I'm because I have been accused, prosecuted, already gone to trial, even though it hasn't been in trial. I've been prosecuted already, people. I have been deemed guilty because I've been accused and I've been prosecuted in these dismissal cases, which they're trying to play it off like it's some fucking trial. Like this judge and these masters, they're not dumb. They can read. They can see the discrepancies. They can see the illegal activity. They got good critical thinking skills, and they are purposely ignoring it, people. Because they're protecting the corporation. That's what they're doing. They're protecting the corporation to keep that money train going. So, and then the lawyer, Andrew, right? You know, it's just word games with him. That's all it is. And more accusations, right? And now he's got a hard on to, you know, step on me and squish me like I'm some fucking bug. Well, you need to do this, and if you do this, we're going to dispute it. Well, you haven't done this, so we're going to dispute it. And you're supposed to do this, but we're going to dispute it, because he wants me to put in ask for some order to extend for time for this appeal, right? But they're going to dispute it, as they dispute everything else, but yet still accuse me. As they are disputing, they are accusing me of the same bullshit that those funky-ass fucking social workers that came from some different country, people. Those people that did what they did to Uncle John didn't even come from this country. They were on visas, working under a corrupt union, with Eleanor running around with seniority saying, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. And just to show you how evil I really am, I'm gonna fuck my brother up big time over, steal his money, so that after it's all said and done, I'll go get my master, this one, this one, this one, and I'll make sure all my little slaves from Britain, Germany, India, China, because that's how high up on the fucking horse this bitch thinks she is, they will facilitate more medical kidnappings of the elderly or anyone who has assets and they think that they can take it over and destroy those people's lives. With Andrew, the dragon, the nasty ass dirty fucking dragon breathing down my back. As the judges and the masters are sitting there ignoring it and playing lip service to the Criminal Code of Canada, which they signed up to represent under a code of ethics that they forgot about as they were sitting up high on their fucking horses for way too long. I should not have to do this again. I can bring you out a whole freaking briefcase full, 2 times as much as this, of this crap. You've seen me type out paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. You've seen me water down those paragraphs at the direction of the masters, who, at the end of the day, it didn't mean a jack thing, because the justice judge ignored it, and then try to play it off like I'm not John's legal representative, but they won't allow me to stand in front of a court setting under a trial setting to make it so that I can show that I am Mr. John Duncan Bernard's legal representative. His sister, he didn't know from fucking Adam. He has never been to Shawnigan Lake. He has never spent no time with that bitch. He chose to leave Victoria Island in 1994, people. Because those people were not there for him. And when he moved over here, they still weren't here for him. They never came to fucking visit him. They never picked him up at the ferry on the other end when he used to go over to visit his mother. The only thing that they ever wanted from him was his money. That was it. And that's why he left. But as soon as he got old, they used that against him. And they took everything from him. And they brainwashed him with their modern fucking Frankenstein medical technology. With the assistance of Fraser Health Authority and their corrupt employees. That they ship in on a fucking plane from over there and over there and over there, you know? So that they can rape the fucking province. As the houses are going up for sale. As the old people are being plucked out of them one by one. This little house, 4 times, 3 times it's sold, and 3 times in 1 fucking year. For a whole fucking year, that house sat empty, people. Hydro was coming in at $44 a month for a fucking year. As it sold 3 times. I know, because I registered my name on it. And I asked for a printout, and she said there is no point. Because it's $44 a year for a fucking, $44 a month for a fucking year. Thousands of homeless people, and houses are sitting fucking empty as they're being flipped. Because the old people are being plucked out and put in the fucking care facility. And then disappear. As these corrupt family members, brothers and sisters, daughters and sons, forget about their loved ones and just spend the money, thinking it's not gonna happen to them. Oh no, their time is coming. That house fucking sat empty for a whole fucking year, sold 3 times, and now it's being slated for demolition. And we have a housing crisis. And you have to pack them, stack them, pack them in the fucking house just to meet the mortgage on a house that's gonna be tore down. With nowhere else to go. So yeah, Auntie Jo sitting over there all by herself. Oh, she's getting old. Well, that's our next victim, people. That's Eleanor's next victim. To prop up that corrupt system that the court system is protecting. I don't have to do this again. Let's read what I wrote. Again. Court is protecting FHA by ignoring the criminal activity that led to the suspicious disappearance of Mr. Duncan. Master Taylor had the plaintiff plaintiff write a 20-page summary of the occurrence that led up to Mr. Duncan's disappearance. And then, when it was submitted with the amendment, Justice Bowden chose to ignore the severity of the situation by stating that the plaintiff was not Mr. Duncan's legal representative, even though he refused to allow any evidence to be presented to the court through a trial. Because I've already been deemed fucking guilty, people! As they continue to accuse me with their word games. Not Mr. Duncan's legal representative, even though he refused to allow any evidence to be presented to the court through a trial setting by prosecuting the plaintiff to be guilty of the allegations that FHA has continuously cast upon the plaintiff in FHA's effort to have the ability to carry on with criminal activity without being held accountable to the people they injure. Calling a place you have never been to or lived at with people you have not spent any time with is not a person's home. John has never gone to Shawnigan Lake. John has not spent any time with his sister Eleanor or any of other sister in Victoria, or his brother that roams the fucking mountains in the bush looking for his next fucking victim, because, you know, people do go missing up in the forestries, so we know where that shit comes from, don't we? If they're doing it in the fucking hospitals with those employees, you can almost guarantee it's the fucking forest rangers that are kidnapping people in the forest. Because these guys are fucked. They're sick in the head, people. You're dealing with some really sick people. Right? He sure the hell didn't know, Eleanor's husband was probably smacking John around. Hadn't spent no time with Debbie since Debbie was, 12. Because Debbie stopped talking to John when she was 12. Because she couldn't get horseback riding anymore. So she stopped talking to John when she was 12. But that's home. That's where Fraser Health sent him back to. A bunch of fucking shitpile abusers. To some place he's never been in his whole fucking life. That's what they fed him. As they were doping him up and making sure that he couldn't get up and walk away. Because they had to give that corrupt fucking nurse a bone. That money. So that when she got her money, the next little house that comes up available, people, that old person will be plucked up out of there, put in the fucking hospital, and then tucked away like their dirty secret in some fucking care facility. And then that house will sit fucking empty as thousands of people are homeless while the developers, regardless of who they are, dicker about what they're going to do with that house and then fucking destroy that house and then build something else that nobody can afford so we can get more immigrants coming in from God knows where, anywhere and everywhere, that do not have Canadian values and don't give a shit about Canadian people, and then sit up there and call themselves, well, we're not racist. We're just capitalists. Mr. Duncan was forced to take what he was told to do because he was not capable of defending himself against gang activity that exploited his physical circumstances so that the instigators of his kidnapping could control his assets without any interference. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't release him. They fed him to the wolves, people. They knew what they were doing. Because they've been doing it for a long time. They just never fucking got caught. And because most people are satisfied to get their fucking money, their little buyout, their blood money, right? They're not gonna say anything. The kids of that house over there, after the parents got tucked away like their dirty secret, you think those kids are gonna stand up there and fight for their parents? Hell no. They got their fucking money when that house sold. They got it. They got their fucking bone. You know what my kids got? 30 years, 30 plus years, okay? From being born on, up until the rest of their life, of a big fucking hole in their head, burning with fire in terms of anger, hurt, confusion, right? Anxiety, pain over the loss of Uncle John. Somebody that's been in this house forever for my kids. And now I'm having to do this shit again. Fucking right, I'm getting mad. Fucking right, I'm getting mad. But that's okay. Because whatever I do between now and the next couple of weeks is going in the fucking mail. There's a few people I'm sending some shit out in the fucking mail. And not only am I sending some shit out in the fucking mail, I'm gonna start getting ready to file another fucking lawsuit, Andrew. Okay? Okay, Andrew?